I ran the rail mail service. I worked Vancouver to Kamloops for 9 months. Then I went, they sent me back, the vacancy I was covering there was, the guy came back or something, so I went back in the post office in Vancouver. And then they sent me to Calgary the next time, and I was in Calgary for a year, working Vancouver, or Calgary to Revelstoke.
So what did you do? What do you mean you work that route?
Oh, I sorted mail on the train. We had bags of mail on the train for all these towns along the way, going west, and you would sort the mail, pull the bags down, hang new bags up for the clerks getting on at Revelstoke, because they would do work. They would dump mail off at Kamloops, that going down the Sycamus, going down the Okanagan, and then at Kamloops going up towards Jasper, and at Ashcroft going up to the Caribou, and at Lytton we dumped off mail that went up to Lillooet and the gold mines up that way. So you'd tear down the bags off the racks, put them on in piles at the end of the car, and when you get there, you'd unload them to the wagons outside, or there'd be couriers there that took them down. Because when I worked at Kamloops, I'd go down to Vernon. I had a cousin down in Vernon, so I'd get down and visit them about once a month. Get a ride down with a guy and help unload mail on the way down, just volunteer to do it. And then meet him at the post office that night and come back to Kamloops to get on the train.
So would you go from Vancouver
to Kamloops.
And you'd sleep on the train? Or would you
we slept a couple hours. We had mattresses up on the overhead, right? You put a mattress down over empty bags, and you would sleep from Agassiz to, you'd wake up at Lytton. One guy would wake up at North Bend and unload the mail. The clerk in charge would sleep right through to Lytton, I think. And then that was it. The clerk in charge slept a couple of times when he had a long section there with no mail to dump off. He would go to sleep, and you would take care of everything for him, right? And then from Calgary to Revelstoke, you didn't sleep. It was a daylight run. So you got on the train, and you went down the station at 6 in the morning and caught the train and left about 7, and you were in Revelstoke about 5 at night, and then stayed overnight. We had a room that we stayed at. We stayed at the same house. Both sets of clerks, the guys from Vancouver and the two guys from Calgary, would stay there. And same thing in Kamloops. We had a place in Kamloops we stayed at.
And he used to tell me, with the little towns, they'd have a bag for the little towns. They would kick that off.
Oh, yeah.
And they would catch the catch post.
Yeah, kick it. By kicking
and the
it,
joke was that the airplanes came in and we had airmail, and they couldn't come down and hook the catch post. That's where they lost the railway mail service. And I used to just laugh my head off.
You'd put the bag on your toe, okay, and you would hold the catch post down with this hand, and you'd hold the top of the bag on your hand this way, and just before you got the catch post, you would kick off the bag. You would lift your bag out like that and let it go. But you used your foot to keep it clear of the tracks, right? And in the meantime, your hand was in free, and you grabbed the bag as it hit the catch post, right? And pulled it in.
They had one hanging on a pole.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it was. There was two arms. There was two arms, one like this, one like this. They'd flip up like this when it came off. There was a ring on the bottom and the top, and the postmaster would set it on this thing, and it would be hanging there. It'd be tied in the middle, and your catch arm would catch it in the middle, so it folded over. You'd make sure you grabbed it, because if you didn't grab one end of it,
middle of the mail bag,
the bottom preferably, if you didn't grab that, the thing would flip right off and you'd lose it, right? I was on a train when a guy had lost his thing, and he wrote this thing, we called it a press hard. You had to make 6 copies of this thing. So there's 5 pages of carbons, right? And you had to part hard because they couldn't read the bottom copies. And it would take him an hour to fill all the answers out on that sucker, right?
And basically the bottom answer was, I missed the catch post.
I never lost one. I came close at Donald. I'm sitting down there and having a coffee at the thing, and all of a sudden I see the sawmill go by. Sawmill's maybe 100 meters from the catch post. I ran for the door, the bag was at the door, I grabbed the bag and the catch arm with both hands, right? Let the bag go, and the bag was in my catch post. I came that close to missing that one. And at middle of daytime, you really have to explain how you missed one in the middle of the day.